Hello, it's Talking Reds. It's Monday morning. It's John Gibbons here with Craig Hannan at our office right on the waterfront in Liverpool, and it's blowy out there, isn't it, mate?
It is, yeah. Sam didn't make us go outside for this one like he did on Friday.
We'd have ended up in the Mersey. They cancelled the Mersey ferry.
I nearly blew away walking up from the bus this morning. It's mad.
Storm Kira. You need to be careful.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a good time to have a bit of a winter break. I know a lot of the players have often been out and about. I've been having a look and see what people have been up to, and I noticed that Alisson, first of all, has gone back to Brazil. He's gone over there. There's Fluminense in Rio de Janeiro have let him train with them. So there's some quite cool pictures. His brother plays for them. Some nice pictures of him and his brother. Seemingly his little godson as well. I found they'll just let anyone have a go. Yeah, who else do you want to bring?
And they're all related, so they'll all be good at footy, won't they?
Yeah.
So that sounds lovely. Nice Brazilian break instead of the Storm Kira, as they're calling it.
Yeah, so that's what we've been up to. Good to see Sadio Mane back in training as well. That's over at Melwood. Sadio Mane put a little video up on his Instagram, so have a little look at that to see him, because there's a few of them coming back after this break. I think this break will be sort of end up being a bit of a well-timed one for Liverpool, because obviously there was the busy Christmas, and then January felt just as busy really. But you know, this break will not just give a chance for a few of them to recharge their batteries, but a few of them maybe to come back to full fitness as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Liverpool played a blinder really, like of all the sort of the talk of the Shrewsbury game and playing the kids and the winter break and everything. It feels like Liverpool are going to come out of this as well as they could have. Obviously still in the FA Cup, going to play Chelsea in that. The kids have done really well, and all of those kids there have that performance that now they can hope to build on their Liverpool careers. And like you said, Sadio Mane coming back, so important. Like, you know, we're running away with the league, but we've got the Champions League as well, and the FA Cup, as I've said, and he's going to be crucial in Liverpool hopefully retaining the Champions League, because I think they can do this year. And yeah, you're right. Even players like Naby Keita, who was sort of. We saw a little bit over the Christmas period and at the World Club Championship, and then he gets injured again, and it's just this like stop-start thing with him throughout his Liverpool career, and hopefully now he can push on and play a huge part in the running.
Well, on Naby Keita, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to Naby Keita. Second most important birthday in LFC world after Sean Walsh of the Anfield back.
Social media Sean.
Yeah, so it is Naby's birthday today, but it's funny seeing people kind of getting out and about, and I noticed that there was a story that I think it was on the BBC or something, or I can't remember. It was in the Mail. It was in the Daily Mail, a story about the Shrewsbury chairman being a bit of a weapon, for want of better words.
I love that word to describe people.
But apparently he was acting the goat at Anfield in particular, asking, I want to see your chief executive. And he was like, well, he's not here. Peter Moore, fair play, has done his own. He's been to Cape Town, which is like a fantastic place to go in February. But to blag it as a work trip, he's gone and seen the supporters club.
Oh, good.
Done a bit of a Q&A.
Yeah, I've got that on my list actually for us. That like maybe I should go and like do some marketing with the different supporters clubs. Maybe South Africa at this time of the year. Maybe Asia during the summer. Yeah, I'm up for that. If Neil Atkinson's watching, let's have a meeting.
But yeah, he's gone to Cape Town Sports Club, Peter Moore, and done a bit of a talk about Liverpool, and he's done it in a few clubs. We went to one in Germany, which coincided with the Bayern Munich game, and it was very interesting to hear, obviously, the CEO of the club talk a little bit about the plans and what his thoughts were, and he did a bit of a Q&A with the audience, and someone's typed all the best bits up, which is very kind of them. So he talks about a few different things. He talks about Steven Gerrard maybe coming back one day. He talks about the model of the club and how proud he is that they kind of were self-sustaining really. But he was asked about Phil Coutinho, and it's interesting because I think there's been a few links to him over the last few days. But from what Peter Moore was basically saying, the feeling in the club is that they're better now he's gone, and they're a better team, and he didn't necessarily quite say that, but he was talking about the style of play. He said when we had Phil here, it was kind of like one style, and where it is now, where he's gone, we've changed a bit, and we're winning every week. Yeah. And I think it's a fair point, isn't it? That you think, I loved Phil Coutinho when he was at Liverpool, but the tactics were, by the end, very much get it to Coutinho and he'll do something boss. Whereas now, the play does feel a little bit more balanced, doesn't it? And it feels a bit more kind of, as I say, like maybe a little bit more direct. as well. Ask Sam Allardyce about that one. And you do have to be careful maybe necessarily bringing something in. You might think, well, if this is working, then do you want players who are going to complement our playing now, or to go back to a different style that, was successful but not quite as?
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because you think about how annoyed quite a few Liverpool fans, including me at the time, when we lost Coutinho, and to think that we essentially used that money to sign Alisson and Van Dijk is unbelievable. And I think you're right, we don't really play with a number 10 now, do we? And if we do play with, say, an Oxlade-Chamberlain in there, he isn't stylistically, he isn't what you would imagine a number 10 to be in the mould that Philippe Coutinho is. He's much more direct in terms of getting forward quickly, and while Coutinho always felt as if Coutinho's best work was slightly deeper and spraying it about. And like you say, well, we have our fullbacks to do that now, being a long ball team. And I think, I think there's a lesson to be learned here for footballers that think maybe that the grass is greener on the other side. And I almost feel like last summer, when he was linked with coming back and he went to Bayern, that was his lesson there, where you can't just leave Liverpool and then we'll come back for you, even if you're at a cheaper price, or whether we can get you on loan, because Liverpool have gone beyond that level now, and like you say, we play differently, and really I don't know where he would fit in. I mean, I'd still have him back because I loved him during his time at Liverpool, and I just love watching footballers like Philippe Coutinho because he was dead exciting and scored brilliant goals. But I get what you're saying. Tactically, I don't really know where he slots in at the moment.
Okay. Speaking of the grass not being necessarily always greener, we'll have a little chat about Emre Can after the break as well. He's been in action at the weekend, scored an absolute belter in a good game of football. So we're going to talk a little bit about him and a few other transfer stuff, not just Phil Coutinho being linked with Liverpool at the moment. But in the meantime, one of our newish videos is called Bedding In. The guys get together and just chat about general kind of football stuff. It's very popular. People are enjoying it, which is fantastic. It's beautifully shot as well. So yeah, by the gentleman behind the camera now, of course. So yeah, this is a little clip from that. So Bedding In. Here we go.
So one of the things I said to Cope, and he was like, "That's mad," was that the Sunderland walkout was firstly 2016, and secondly it was under Klopp. And it plays tricks with everyone's memory, this. Everyone's just, because no one quite knows where to put it. You were part of it, and so that's one of the reasons why. But it's just sort of like, everyone forgot about it, and no one ever talks about it now. And it's one of the reasons why no club will put the price up in the country.
No, it's I think you said something on this, didn't you, recently in a thing with
Ollie Kay, yeah.
Ollie Kay in the Athletic. And like games that have almost framed Liverpool in a period of time. And it is, that's what, nearly 4 years ago now. Funnily enough, today is 12 years since the first mass meeting that led to Spirit of Shankly, the Sandon. The first time I ever knew there was a Neil Atkinson in the world. Fucking hell, lucky me. Sorry, myself. I had to get you back for all the times you throw me under the bus. So yeah, no, it is, and you think back to there, Klopp, you think what we've done since as well. But it is one of those games, it's fascinating. Like, there's been this incredible unifying thing around the fan base. And it probably almost said to Klopp, I used to almost remark when we were having all the ticket price discussions, and Klopp does this thing, where he berates the fans behind him. And I used to say to Liverpool, like, we'd be in meetings with Liverpool, and I'd be like, I swear to God, if I was in the main stand and he turned around and berated me for not, like, getting behind the players enough, I'd be like, mate, I paid £59, watch that dickhead just fucking pass it out of play. Do you want to fucking sit here? And, like, we're all having this thing where, like, the idea you're going to call Klopp out because he's shouting at the fans, and now it's like, fucking do what you want, mate. Yeah. You're the fucking best thing ever. It's an incredible, like, literally that time, nearly 4 years now. And we've gone from a club that was, again, literally openly fighting with the owners of the club. And now
people arguing walking out.
Now we're in a place where everyone is... Well, that's the thing. It's left me in a place, and I commented, I text someone we'll know who works at Liverpool the other day around that article, and I was like, it's incredible that there's people who used to argue, well, there's a fella who sits behind me who fucking hated Spirit of Shankly, and now, like, he's hugging me with a Liverpool score. It's like, this is a remarkable turnaround, like, and that's what, ultimately, it's what Klopp's done, isn't it?
So that is a clip from Bedding In. That's on our subscription video service. So if you subscribe to that, that is available now. If not, do have a think about it. It's £7 just for all the extra video we do, or £10 if you want audio and video as well. So have a little think about that. That's a little bit of a taster of the excellent stuff that we're putting out every day for Liverpool fans like you. So a couple of other things I want to talk about. I mentioned there the Emre Can, so we'll talk about that. There wasn't obviously a Liverpool game at the weekend, so people were getting the footy fixes all over the place. I know quite a few people watching the Milan derby last night, so texted me about that.
Scenes.
Sounded an absolute belter, yeah. Also, the Inter Milan team's just loads of lads you know now.
Yeah, like, it is, isn't it?
He went there.
Yeah, it's basically lots of old United players, isn't it? Like Ashley Young, I don't know if Ericsson was playing at the weekend.
Ericsson did play. He hit a free kick from about 45 yards. Did at the bar, yeah, it was amazing.
Lukaku as well.
Lukaku scored, didn't he?
There's another one. I'm trying to think who it is, but Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah.
I forgot he was a footballer.
Yeah. So it's a laugh. Yes, so there's a few people watching that. And then there was a great game from the weekend as well. Dortmund got beat 4-3 by a Leverkusen, and there's a lot of players in that game who've sort of with Liverpool connections, either linked like Havertz, strongly linked again, but also Emre Can, who's sort of gone there. And it's a funny one. I saw a lot of debate over the weekend about Can and about, you know, again, you know, he's a very divisive player, isn't he? But a few people sort of making fun of him a little bit and say, oh, he sort of shouldn't have left Liverpool. But I think he's done, you know, he went to Juventus, earned a load of money, won the league, and then now he's at Dortmund. He's you know, where did it all go wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. I sort of tweeted about it because I thought, like, I watched the goal and thought, what a goal that is, and then I thought to myself, well, actually, like, I'm quite happy watching this. I'm happy for him that he gets to score this goal, and I'm happy for us that, like, he isn't really, not our problem's not the right terminology, but our midfield's a lot better off. You say about Coutinho as well, but it feels like our midfield's much better off now, and I would rather not have the question of whether Emre Can should or shouldn't play. Like, I sort of said, and it was a bit sly, but I said, like, that I was happy to be able to watch this goal for a minute and not have to watch the other 89 where he's playing, because he's...
Well, I tweeted something fairly similar. I was like, see, though, they got beat 4-3, and he's probably, one of those goals, he's probably let someone walk past him.
Exactly, you know, and that feels harsh because, you know, you think of, like, some of the brilliant times we had with Emre Can, and, like, you know, I think of that Villarreal game where he was brilliant in that, but then, and the Watford goal where he scores an absolute belter there, but then, like, I think of all the other times when he was just so frustrating and just... you know, I'd much rather a Gini Wijnaldum, a Jordan Henderson, or whoever in our midfield at the moment. But equally, I'm happy for him. Did you watch the game, or did you see the highlights?
I've seen the highlights.
Because I mean, if he's a defensive midfielder and partly their defence was awful, then does that sort of make the point? I'm not going to say that because I didn't watch it, but that's sort of what it feels like.
He scored an absolute worldie anyway, and isn't that what it is for? I mean, I mentioned that a few of the players have sort of been linked over the years, sort of with Liverpool or more recently. Kai Havertz is one that gets linked a lot, and look, I haven't seen a huge amount of him, but it just seems to me like the numbers that are being talked for him, it's like, you know, over 100 million plus. Like, I'm just not quite seeing where that comes from. And I noticed again with Dembele, who's apparently going to be allowed to leave Barcelona. It hasn't worked out there, and he's one who, you know, you're talking about, you know, huge amounts of money. Could you see Liverpool spending kind of that much money on someone who still feels a little bit kind of unproven, or do you think that they're just the figures that have been thrown around now, and he probably end up going for a bit less?
Probably a little bit of both. I think, like, if you think of some of the figures that were been thrown around with someone like Alisson, for instance, when we were going after him, and then we get him for sort of 25 million cheaper, I think if it's a player that Jurgen Klopp really, really wants, and that between the team they've identified him as being, like, you know, a number one target in the same ilk that a Van Dijk and an Alisson were, that they're game changers. I think Melissa Reddy described them being in their piece, then I think they will go for it, because I think they've seen what Jurgen Klopp can do with these players, that he can take them from here and elevate them to numbers here, like Salah, for instance. I can see Liverpool making a big signing this year. I just don't know if it'll be for the numbers touted for someone like Havertz, who, you're right, it was like 90 million, 85 million and stuff. And I know Sancho is going to be similar. And then there's the talk of Mbappe and how much he would cost. I think it's a really interesting summer for Liverpool, really, because I wonder, with all of these players that are available, someone like Werner as well, who seems to be slightly cheaper because he's a release clause, whether they'll be more tempted to go for someone like that, or whether there's someone further down that they look at who they see as being a bit of a project and being someone like a Minamino, for instance, who they're able to get at a smaller price and then turn into a Salah or whatever. I just think it's an interesting summer this year. I think there's going to be something big happen to Liverpool. I just don't really know what it is.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. But obviously, the Anfield wrap will cover it, not first, but we'll see it somewhere else.
One of the first.
And then we'll discuss it later. That's a new marketing strapline, write that down. We've been doing some live shows over the weekend, so if you are in Ireland and you went over to see the boys who were over there, hope you had a good time. I know the lads have really enjoyed it, have said how much they've enjoyed the free shows. It was Cork last night, the first time we've done that. So well into the boys if you are watching, who've been over there in Ireland, slogging themselves, tough life.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of drinking, and I'm in the WhatsApp group because I sort of help pull bits of it together, and they seem to have a brilliant time, and the shows seemed to have gone really well. My mum and dad, as I mentioned, were at the live show on Friday, and they enjoyed it. There was a lad, and I hope he's watching. If he is, put in the comments. There's a lad. Do you know when I pronounced Ballon d'Or wrong?
Oh yeah.
Well, there was a fella who he got a balloon made, and on it says Balloon d'Or, right? And he's brought it to the live show. Realised
I bet Robbo was made up.
Well, he's brought it to the live show. He's realised I wasn't there, so he's found my ma. And I've just got pictures of my ma and this fella with a balloon that says Balloon d'Or on it.
That's unreal.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Really
if you're watching this, put your name in the comments because I want to speak to you.
That's really good. Fair play to him. But yeah, if you are over in America, we're doing some live shows there in March as well. So we're doing 6 tour dates over, all on the West Coast. All on the East Coast. Apologies to the West Coast. A few people messages saying when you're coming over there. We will do something there hopefully this year as well. But at the moment, just doing this side. So the 6 dates available there, starting in Toronto and finishing in Delaware, and doing lots of places in between. So they're available right now on ctickets.com if you want to come and get involved in our East Coast, US and Canada tour. We'd love to see you. Just another thing I want to mention as well, our brand new Bobby Firmino top, beautifully designed by the fella behind the camera again. He's so talented, he can do everything, can't he? These are now available, so if you've bought one already, we'll be sending them out today. Patrick's going to be going downstairs sending these out. He's cracked the whip already this morning. And if you haven't bought one yet, do have a think about it, because they're really nice. The price, they're £18. We'll post them worldwide. Lovely quality, spot on. Is that everything, Craig?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so enjoy your week. It feels like ages till Liverpool are going to play again, but I'm sure plenty will be happening as the boys come back from their winter breaks. But thanks a lot in the meantime, and up the Reds.